Hello, beautiful people. You're welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, you'll be learning how to sew this beautiful dress. So, if you're new here, I want to say you're welcome, and to my old subscribers, you're welcome as well. So, let's dive into the tutorial. So, the first thing to do is to get your half length. So, this person's half length is 16 inches. So the full length of the gown, is 3/4. So the 3/4 length of the person I'm sewing this dress for is 45. So I remove that 16 inches from 45. Okay, so I measured it from the half length from the 16 to 45. That's what I'm doing on the fabric now. So I mark that point out. After doing that, I went ahead now to measure out the hip length. From the half length, I measured down 8 inches. 8 inches to the hip length. Do you understand? From your half length to your hip length, that's 8 inches. This 8 inches is not applicable to everybody. Do you understand? But for an average height, you can use 8 inches. So at this point, I measured the the half length rather. So the round measurement is 32. So I divided by 4, giving me 8 inches. So I measured 8 inches at that point. Then I added 2 inches sewing allowance to it. So at the hip point, I measured 10 inches. That's 40 inches divided by 4. It gives me 10. Then I added 2 inches to it. That's for my sewing allowance. So at this down end, I want it to be pencil because the pencil dress, like the tip of the down part of the dress is pencil, like it's a firm dress. It's not something that is loose, like it's a pencil dress. Do you understand? It has a pencil shape at the down end of the dress. So instead of using that 12 inches, that is the 10 plus 2 inches I use at the hip point, I remove that 2 inches from it. So I just mark out 10 inches at the down end. Do you understand? Then I join the lines together. Here I'm cutting out the front piece. So guys, I'm about to cut the back piece. For me, the easiest way I do cut my front and back piece is using the front to cut the back. I only add the zipper allowance to the back. Do you understand? For a quick work for me, I do use the front piece to cut out the back piece, as you see me do. So I'll just add the zipper allowance to the back. I'll add 2 inches to the back. That's what I do whenever I'm cutting my clothes. But not in all cases. There are times that you will not be able to use your front piece to cut the back piece, depending on the style. But for this particular one, I can actually use my front piece to cut my back piece at the same time, for a quick work, for my work to be easier. So guys, it's time to cut the half length, but I discovered that the chalk I'm using is not really showing on the white fabric cutting, so I decided to use this lining so that I will, after cutting out the lining, I can then use the lining to cut the fabric out. Note that this lining is serving as a pattern paper for me. I'm not going to use it to sew the cloth. Do you understand? It's just serving as a pattern paper. So guys, the first thing to do is to get your half length measurement. So the half length of my customer is 16 inches. So I added 1 inch to it. I'm going to join it at the shoulder and at the half length. I'm going to join the half length together. So the first thing I did was to get my bust line, my under bust, and my half length from the shoulder to half length, from the shoulder to under bust, then from the shoulder to bust point. Do you get? So from the shoulder to bust point, mine is 8 inches, and to bust point is 8 inches, then to under bust is 13 and a half, then the half length is 16 inches. So on the bust point now, I measured 9 inches. The bust measurement I'm working with is 36 inches. So 36 divided by 4, you get 9 inches. Then at the under bust, I divided 28. The under bust I'm working with is 28. So I divided 28 by 4 and I got my answer. Then the half length was 32. So I divided 32 by 4. 32 by 4 gives me 8 inches. So I marked that out and added 2 inches to each of these measurements I've taken on this pattern paper. Note that I said that this lining, this like lilac lining, is serving as a pattern paper for me. Do you understand? So guys, at the shoulder point, I came down by 1.5, and done with the front piece now. So I will go ahead and use this front piece to cut out the back. So but before then, I will cut out the neckline for this. So I use 3 by 3 inches. 3 by 3 inches. No, I'm going to add collar to the neck, so I don't want it to be too wide. So I use 3 by 3 inches for the front. So for the opening at the chest line, I came down from the neckline. I came down by 2 inches. Okay, so when I came down by 2 inches, by the side I slanted it. If you look at the picture, you see it on the screen, I slanted the, so down from that neck point, I measure that 5 inches, then I try to like make a little cut at the end. But first I want to use the pattern paper. I told you I'm going to use that as my pattern paper. So I'm going to go ahead now and use it to cut out the back before cutting out the key holes, that holes or that cut at the chest line. Okay, so for the back piece I'm going to add 1.5 to the back, and for the shoulder, at the shoulder point I'm going to add 1.5. You can add one, or you add 1.5. I'm going to add collar, so I want the back to be a bit longer than the front. By the time I'm done with what I'm doing, you understand better. So for the collar to stand well after fixing it, after sewing it, you need to like increase the shoulder by 1.5 at the back for the back piece. Do you understand? So for the neck line, I came down by 1 inch, 1 by 3 inches, 1 inch by 3 inches. Do you understand? So I used the new 1.5 I added to it. Remember, I added 1.5 to the shoulder. So this is the back piece. I'm done cutting the back piece. So I came down by 7 inches from the shoulder to mark out my sweetheart neck. If you check out the picture, you see that there is a sweetheart neck. The inner is made of sweetheart neck, okay? Then there is a collar on the neck of the net used. Do you get it? So I'm cutting out the yoke. So guys, at this point I need to use the pattern paper, the lining I cut out. I need to use this lining to cut out the front piece. So now I'm cutting out the hole I'm telling you about, that opening. I marked it out on the lining before, so now I've cut it out on the net. So this is the inner. I mark from the half length, I measured 20 inches, but I later discovered that the 20 inches will be too much, so I later removed 2 inches from it, making 18 inches to achieve that same style. That's for the front piece. So now I'm going ahead. I'll go ahead now to cut out the back piece. So guys, I'll go ahead now to cut out the lining for the half length, both the front and the back. So this is the back piece I cut out. I added the zipper allowance to it. Then at this back end, I remove 1 inch from the back. The reason why I'm doing this to some of my dresses is because I don't want unnecessary folding of the zipper at the back. So I'm cutting out the front piece now, the line for the front piece. So guys, this is the front piece, and I want to show you how I did the opening, how I was able to use bias to tape the opening. I've already done one before. The outcome wasn't good. It wasn't relaxing, and it makes the whole thing, it makes the whole sewing somehow. So I want to show you how I was able to make the second one and it came out well. You see how it was opening? The first one I did was opening. It wasn't relaxing properly. Do you understand? So this is the second one I did. So I'll show you. I'll use the second opening now, this second part, to explain how I was able to achieve this sewing. So guys, this is it, and I've gone ahead to use the bias to tape it. I've sewn the bias around it. The thing I did, the trick I used here was that I pleated the cuff part of this opening. Do you see the way I pleated the bias? Pleated it a little bit so that by the time I am done taping it, it will give me a neat finishing. Do you understand? So guys, at this point, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up. This will encourage me to post more videos. Thank you. So this is it. I've added the inner to it and I've marked out the dart point and I've sewn the dart point of both the back and the front. What I did was to stop stitch the inner on the net material. So guys, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, why not hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel? Thank you. So I've joined the front with the back. So I sewed the back. I measured 10 inches upward at the back for the slit. Then I did the finishing. I've already joined the shoulders together. So guys, to cut the sleeve is very easy. So I will be dropping a link in the description box. The link will lead you to the video you watch on how you can cut the collar. Do you get? So after cutting out the collar, you join your zipper to it. Then you are done with the dress. You are done with the dress. So just to cut out your sleeve, the collar, then you add your zipper to the back. Guys, this is the bogus part of the sleeve. I use 15 by 20 inches for the measurement, 20 inches by 15 inches. So guys, this is the upper end of the sleeve. I use 7 by 8 inches. So the length is 7 inches. It's just the normal way you cut your basic sleeve. Okay, I came down by 3 inches at that armhole point. Then I curve the armhole. So guys, after cutting out this part of the sleeve, the next thing to do is to cut an interface for the first part we cut earlier. And that will be all, guys. Look at the finished look of the dress is giving. The opening is looking good as well. So if you find this video helpful, like the video please, and also subscribe. See you in my next video.